Assalamu alaikum. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to write an advantages and disadvantages essay. So let's watch. In some situations, you're required to write an essay that illustrates the advantages and disadvantages of a certain item, any object, like, for example, the advantages and disadvantages of using smartphones or making a certain decision, such as immigrating to another country, or a new idea, or a lifestyle, or anything like that. So I'm going to teach you how to write this essay. Like this example, write an essay to illustrate the advantages and disadvantages of living without smartphones, without them. Okay, so basically you're supposed to write 4 paragraphs. The first one is going to be an introduction. The second one is going to be body, paragraph 1, which is about the advantages, and then body, paragraph 2, the disadvantages, and then a conclusion, which can be a summary or your own opinion. Let's understand that in detail. So introduction. There are 2 steps. Step 1, explain why this issue is important. Like this example, smartphone addiction has become one of the diseases of the modern times. We spend every 3 seconds staring at them. Some people have made a brave decision to completely live without smartphones. So we're introducing the issue that some people decided to live without smartphones. Now, shed light on what the essay is going to be about. I'm going to write an essay about the advantages and disadvantages of living without smartphones. So I need to tell my reader that this is what the essay is going to be about. A decision like this has many advantages and disadvantages. So when I write that, this explains to the reader that this essay is going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages. The whole introduction will look like this. Some smartphone addiction has become one of the diseases of the modern times. We spend every 3 seconds staring at them. Some people have made a brave decision to completely live without smartphones. A decision like this has many advantages and disadvantages. Body, paragraph 1, advantages. There are 2 approaches here. The first approach, you discuss one advantage in details, like this example. We start with a topic sentence that has the main idea of the advantage that we're going to illustrate. One of the main advantages of living without a smartphone is reduced distraction. And then you explain using 2 sentences or even 3 sentences if you want to. Smartphones can be a constant source of interruptions, making it difficult to focus on tasks, especially for students and workers. Without smartphones, people can better concentrate on their work or studies, which can lead to increased productivity. So here we have one idea, one advantage illustrated in details. You may ask me, can we talk about 2 or 3 advantages? Yes, you can, for sure. Of course, you can do that. And this is the second approach, to discuss 2 or more advantages, but you want to make sure that each one of them is well illustrated. Don't just list them quickly without explaining them. You need to make sure that you explain them well. Of course, in order for you to do that, you have to start with a topic sentence. And in this topic sentence, you need to say that you're going to illustrate the advantages, many advantages. Like this example, living without smartphones offers several advantages. So when I say several advantages, that means that I'm going to talk about more than one advantage in this paragraph. And then we use organizational words like first, second, last, and so on. So firstly, it reduces distractions, allowing individuals to focus on their work, studies, and personal interactions without the constant allure of notifications. Allure means attraction, charm. Secondly, it promotes more meaningful face-to-face communication, strengthening personal relationships and enhancing social skills. Lastly, it can lead to better mental health as individuals have fewer opportunities to compare their lives to others on social media, reducing feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. So here we have a topic sentence and then 3 ideas. Now, you can end with a concluding sentence for this paragraph, but this is optional. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. What's the concluding sentence? It's a sentence that sums up everything that was mentioned and ends this paragraph in a good way. These advantages highlight the potential for a more productive, socially enriched, and mentally healthier life without smartphones. As I said, this last sentence is optional. If you don't want to write it, it's fine. But of course, it's better if you write it. Now, we can do the same approach as the previous, like with the disadvantages, we can do the same thing that we did with the advantages. We can write one disadvantage in detail or two or more disadvantages. So if you have one disadvantage discussed in detail, it goes like this. However, not having a smartphone can be a pain when it comes to staying in touch with friends and family. You want to make sure that you start with one of these words that indicates that the idea you're going to illustrate in this paragraph is different from the idea illustrated in the previous paragraph. There is a contrast here. In the previous paragraph, you were talking about the advantages, and now you're talking about the disadvantages. So you need to start with something like, however, on the other hand, in contrast, and so on. Or nevertheless, one more time, you start with words like, however, on the other hand, in contrast, nevertheless, nonetheless, anything like that. So, however, not having a smartphone can be a pain, can be annoying when it comes to staying in touch with friends and family. And then you illustrate the information here. Without instant messaging and quick access to info on the go, you might miss out on important messages or updates. It can slow things down and make it less convenient to communicate, both personally and professionally. Or you could write about two or more disadvantages. However, again, you have to start with something like, however, on the other hand, in contrast, something like that. Living without smartphones has its drawbacks. Again, we have a topic sentence. We say drawbacks, right? And then we illustrate using the same organizational words, first, second, third, and so on. Firstly, communication becomes less convenient as instant messaging and access to information on the go are limited. In emergencies, the absence of smartphones may hinder the ability to quickly seek help or assistance. Secondly, individuals may miss out on valuable information and entertainment options that smartphones provide, such as news updates, educational resources, and access to music and media. And then you can end with a concluding sentence. And as we said before, this concluding sentence is optional. Unfortunately, these disadvantages are crucial for a normal life in the modern world. Now, in the conclusion, you can either write a summary or provide your own opinion. So here is one version. In this version, we just have a summary without our opinion. In conclusion, it's essential to find the balance between the advantages and disadvantages of living without smartphones. While it can reduce distractions and promote meaningful interactions, it may hinder communication and limit access to essential information and entertainment. We don't have a clear side here. We're just summarizing, and we're saying that this decision of living without smartphones has advantages and disadvantages. So you can consider this as a summary or as a balanced opinion. Now, what if you want to take a side? It might go like that. In conclusion, living without smartphones is better. So you take a side. You say it's better or it's worse. It reduces distractions and lets us have more meaningful interactions. Smartphones offer convenience and entertainment, but a life without them is more productive, connected, and balanced. It's important to be careful about the use of technology and to enjoy real-world connections. So that's how you write an essay that illustrates the advantages and disadvantages of anything. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Assalamu alaikum.